Alright guys, how are you? So we're gonna do a top-down analysis on gold, right? That's my favorite pair, and you guys know I love to trade that pair. So let's see how can we that this look. Let me erase everything and start from the beginning, so that way you guys get to see um, how I draw my sons and everything. So basically at this point, I'm putting. You see, I like to do it from the wicks, not really the bodies, but the wicks, unless the body is inside that song in like the future or the past, where it just makes sense to put it somewhere like that. Sometimes the levels are like that, and either way, as you start going down on the time frames, um, you'll see that you gotta readjust your levels at that point, right? So we have resistance here because it was support, now it's resistance. Now we're gonna have, this was the previous level of support, right? Previous level of support. Boom. Okay, so here you go. Previous level of support. So now where are we waiting? So this right here in like the 15-minute time frame, this will, if this was to be printed in the 15-minute time frame, this is excellent for me to take a sell once I see the red candle crossing this previous candle, green candle low. I would take a position something like this, put my stops on top of that wick, and then here. And I would like for the first 7 minutes, I would say, for the next candle, right, the price to just keep going up, and then the last 7 minutes of the candle for the price to come down and break its own low. So when that happens, that's when I'm gonna enter a position. But if it breaks right from the beginning, sometimes it's just a little riskier, to take those trades. So that right there, that would be a setup that I would take in the 15-minute time frame. I'm not a swing trader, so I'm not this. There is no confirmation for us to take a trade, either going long or going short, as long as we see the price either breaking the resistance in here, or price just rejecting this resistance in here at this point. So when we see that happening, that's when we'll see exactly what's the outcome. As a swing trader, we can't take anything right now. This is not in a weekly time frame. It's just not, doesn't look like a position to take. Let's go to the daily now. Oh, targets. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention targets. Targets will be somewhere here first for this one, because this is where we have the previous level of trouble, somewhere in this area, right? And then targets for this other one will be around here, because this is where we have the previous level of some trouble too, somewhere there. So that will be targets for the weekly. Okay, daily. Let's go to the daily. You see, in here we have to adjust our levels, right? Because I like to do it from the wicks, not really the body of the candles, the wicks. Okay, and then let's see what's going on here. So we have this here. Okay, good. So now the price, very simple in here too, has been creating lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower. You see here, it failed to create another lower low, right? It should have come down here, but this didn't happen. So what happened? It disrespected the previous lower high. If the price was to continue down, it should at least created a double top here, and the price should have come here and created another lower low. But that didn't happen. So now what the price did actually, he ended up disrespecting this previous lower high, went up, came back, retest, and it's just pushing up. So at this point, we have a potentially uptrend forming. We should wait some price to come here for this to keep pushing up to this area, this area, this area, this area. All right, you see what I'm seeing, right? This is, it's very clear. This is how price move. It's very clear. This is how price move all the times. Okay, so now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Let's adjust our levels again. Sorry. Let's adjust our levels based on the time frame that we are in and look for opportunities around here. Okay, sorry. Okay, here. Most recent level of resistance, most recent level of support. Most recent level of support, I would put it around here better. You see how here is better to, this is when I was telling you before. You see how this in here is touching the body of the candles, and here's just touching the actual wick. Sometimes your level is going to be something like that. Why? Because I want to catch this area of support and this. I can just put it like that and just not pay attention to this. I have to pay attention to that. So I have to put somewhere even here like this. I think even here would be even better. This would be a better level of support. Why? Because it was previous resistance, broke the area, came down, tested as support, and it went pushing up. Right? So look at this. And this is also perfect as an area where you see resistance going up. Look, resistance, rejection, rejection. Then what we see, a small green body candle right here. Red candle showing up already. Momentum kicking in. We see what? This previous candle closing the candle low, the previous candle low, and now at least the next level target will be here, which it looked like it almost hit it already. Why? Because this was the previous area of trouble, right? It was here and between here and here. This was the previous level of trouble, and boom, look, the price went inside there and it pushed up. It was what is this? 17. This was from 1790 to 1779. So 1780, so 100 pips basically. 1780 to 1790, 100 pips. This was 100 pips. Move. You see, and you were risking previous candle around here. Yeah, somewhere there. See, this is a good move that we can take on the lower time frame. Okay. Now let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. And I think we're getting something that I would like to enter. Let's see, let's see. All right, that's our level. This is our level now. Resistance, support. You see that at the end of the day, we're looking the you know, everything moves the same. Everything moves the same. It's just the time frame that you're looking at, but everything looks the same. So here, what we're looking at? What are we looking at? What is this? Is this a downtrend? Of course not. This is a uptrend. Low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, potentially higher low. Look at these rejections. Now going up. So now where are we looking at? Here, this area, and this area, right? This is our area where we're looking. If the price will continue to keep pushing up, it should respect this area of the previous lower higher low, which is this area. As long as the price doesn't cross this area, we should continue to keep pushing up, right? Because this was the previous higher high. Price this candle crossed that previous higher high. Now we're waiting for some way of, you see how this looks, rejections, rejection, rejections, and look what's happening here now. Rejections, rejections, rejection, rejections. So he already crossed the previous candle higher high, and now we're looking for a confirmation for us to enter a trade around here. We're looking the same thing that happened here. We're looking at here, and we took this trade also at the beginning of the week. Remember? Now look, it's happening here too. It's happening here too. So we got to see now some way somehow a potential setup. So let's look in the 1 minute. This is where I like to see my setups in the 1 minute, right? Look what it's showing. So let's say we were enter I trade here 10 pips. Again, let's just say 10 pips. Sorry, 10 pips, 20 pips, 10 pips, and let's see what happens. And how we're gonna manage this trade. Let's just say we were into this trade right now. I'm not entering the trade because I'm doing the video right now, but let's just say we were to enter this trade. How we manage the trade. If this candle crosses the previous candle low, I will close my position. And I will give my trade another chance if I see more rejections coming in this area. Sometimes I would like for me to see divergence. I would like to see divergence in here, somewhere like this. I would like to see divergence, but sometimes divergence doesn't happen all the time. So I would take a trade like this sometimes, just to enter a position with, especially when it's only 10 pips that I'm risking. You know, my divergence are more like 40 pips. Trades like this are only 10 pips. When I don't see divergence happening, I will just close at a 10 pips in a minor loss as opposed to 40 pips, right? And this trade is what I usually like to do. After 10 pips, I put my stops at break even because there is a high probability that it's gonna keep pushing down to create a divergence for me to take another position. So because of that, I would like to do um, at least move my stops at break even when it's in 10 pips. So let's see. Look at that push. Look at that push. Look at that push. Okay, what is this? 1784.10, 1785.10. I'm gonna put an alert there to let me know when the price touches there, if it touches there, or here when it's time to close the trade. Sorry, I put it around here. Okay, let's go continue with the analysis. So, but you see what I'm saying? Look, this right here is showing rejection. It's showing rejection. So maybe there is a good potential for this to go long now and create and potentially crossing now the next level of the last higher high, which is this one. It was the last higher high. This is the last lower low. I mean higher low. I'm sorry, higher low, higher high. So now we're looking for the price to come and be able to push to the upside from here all the way here. You see, boom, right? That's on the 1 hour time frame. 15 minutes time frame. Let's see. We adjust our levels again. This is our area of support. This is our area of resistance, and what we're looking at right now. This is a little downtrend. Lower high, lower low, 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 lower high, and let's see if what's gonna happen. It has to cross this area for this to create another lower low, right? But if the price crosses this area, disrespecting the previous lower high, then what does that say? That says that potentially we'll be looking for this. You see? And look, we already achieved 10 pips. I wouldn't move my stops at break even at this point, right? Yes, I want to delete the alert. Remove my stops at break even. Risk-free trade. Risk-free trade. You see? Look. You see what I told you, that sometimes it doesn't give you that divergence, and when things like this happen, when it shows me those rejections, I like to enter the trade. And then at this point I would close some partials. Why? Because it's already 15 pips. I will close some partials on this setup, and then I will just move my targets here at least and see what happens. And just keep extending these targets. I keep extending these targets as as you go. Eventually, just create this 100 pips. Potentially to target this area straight like that. You see? But that's just how easy sometimes we can trade with gold. Very easy, man, very easy. So you see how I would close partials on 15 pips, because looks what's happening now. Look, it's funny, right? Like, it's just, that's how it works, man. It just happens all the time. Happens all the time. Boom. Let's say this will just hit the break even. At least I close partials at 15 pips. I move my stops at break even. Even if I didn't close partials, this trade, it will be a winning trade for me. Why? Because I didn't lose anything, and I had the potential, to collect some money, to take some profits out on my own. But I didn't do it. Let's just say, right? Because you just decided to move to stops at break even. But look, why? Because now you might give this what we're looking for, which is the divergence. You see, you might start doing this right now. Sorry. You might start doing this. Boom. Then it creates that divergence, and then we go up. So like at that point, I probably I would have still in that trade. And see what happens. But yeah, guys. So that's just basically how I like to see this thing. That's really how I like to look. It's the same situation all the time. In whatever time frame you are in, look for the trend. If the price is just sideways like this, then first determine what trend was before that, and see if it's respecting the previous higher, swing high, swing low. If it's not, if it's disrespected at some point, then wait for that retest. When that retest comes in, sometimes the retest doesn't come in at that level. It might come inside that level, like it was happening in the 1 hour time frame. Then you just enter the position based on the rejections that you see, like here. Let's take this off. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour time frame again. What were we looking at here? Oh, sorry. Just to recap before this video is just it's way too long. So previous level of support, previous level of resistance. What we were looking, this was the previous level. Where was it? Remember, swing high, swing low, swing high. Now we're creating. So you see how this it didn't retest at this level. It actually broke it to the downside. So now, as long as this level, this golden box is respected, because it was the previous swing low, as long as that's respected, we should be okay. And why I will take a position around here? Because I see rejection. See a lot of rejection happening here right now. Look, see, a lot of rejection happening here, and every time the market pushes to the upside, that's what happens. It's rejecting. The probability is on your side to take a trade here. The probability is on your side. If you want to be more of a less aggressive, more conservative trader, then you wait for the push of this box, right? Wait for the push, wait for a little pullback, and then you enter the position here once you see some way confirmation. So for me here, this is not a confirmation because there is not a candlestick pattern that I like to see. But these two green candles, it is a confirmation because it's giving me this area of pullback, two candles, and then two green candles coming right after that. And look, boom, we had a push to the upside right away. Okay, let's see what this trade is doing right now. Yep, let's see. Alright guys, that will end my video. I know it's 18 minutes long already. I hope you really like this, the explaining how it's just the way that you gotta see it, the way how you determine the trends, and how you will enter based on like the previous breaking of the previous swing high or swing low, and wait for that pullback and see rejection. At that point you see rejection, you will enter your position. It will, in some cases, the pullback will come and test the same level as the weekly level is doing right now. If something like that was to happen, then that's amazing, but that doesn't happen all the times, like what's happening now in the weekly level, you see. But that doesn't happen all the time. Something very, very clear like this doesn't happen all the times, and this still have one more day to go, so we don't know what's going to happen here. But if the price was to reject this area and the next candle will just keep pushing to the downside, then this would be amazing, because that will mean that we will be going to the downside, target these areas and these areas, and this move is easy from here to here. This is 350 pips move, and if it keeps pushing down to the 1680 mark again, that's 700 pips move. Is those pips are just amazing, you know, this insane. But now to the upside, if we were to break this, boom, it will go up. It will be amazing too. Alright guys, I will let you go. I'm gonna put it on YouTube this video because it's way too long, and I hope you really like it. Okay, take care guys, bye, enjoy. And my information you already know before I leave. Where is it? It's here, boom. This is my information on Instagram, my direct telegram, my channel, whatever. Alright, enjoy, take care, bye.